All right, are we ready to get started? Ready to take on?
Yes.
We're gonna open the council meeting for the City of Vernon, September 19, 2022, 5:30. Chad, invitation, please.
Gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this opportunity to come and take care of business for the city. We ask you, Lord, that your will be done. And we ask you, Lord, that you just take control of this meeting tonight. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do I have a motion to approve consent agenda? Second. Discussion. All in favor? Consent agenda approved. Mayor's report.
I don't have much. I talked to Trey about the Yellow Jacket Drive. He did share some information, help me out a lot. I'm gonna go out to bid if the bid goes over that, we can go back to DOT with the proper paperwork and ask for more money. That's out, CDBG and all that other stuff, we can. But on this one, we go through DOT, we can. That's about all I got. Got any questions?
On these new projects that we're doing, is this taking in consideration of replacing any pipe or anything like that may be messed up? I mean, some of these pipes that we have in the underground is 35, 40 years old. So yeah, we took it into consideration to go ahead and change that while we've got it open.
None of these grants we have applied for, the only new pipe going in the ground is that one pumping from, right there to Dawkins and to the sewer station. And that'll be a total decline, there's no old one there now.
Yeah, but they cut down, that's what I'm saying, they just had to repave that road, then we had to go back in and cut it back open. That's just something there to think about. I mean, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing these roads done.
Yeah, if you, hit me with a certain area you're talking about, they've got a map down at the sewer yard, I think it should be still there, or in City Hall, where all the grants that were done before I left were color coded on that one drawing. I'll get that for y'all.
Well, I'm thinking about Church Street, if this would get into that.
Yeah.
Then the Yellow Jacket Drive right here.
Yeah.
If it's open already, then maybe we can get in there and get that taken care of. I know it's gonna be an extra cost, you know, somewhere along the line, but what's cheaper, getting somebody to come back and re-asphalt something that we've cut up, or we just gonna continue to patch holes?
I agree with you. We can look at that
On the grant, that guy was asking about the Yellow Jacket Drive.
Yeah.
As he was saying, just put it out for bid and go ahead and get your bids in. You'll have your cost, then you'll go back to DOT and ask for a supplemental grant, and they'll usually do it pretty well. And then Ms. Wynn, I think you asked a question about how the county would come into effect. That's whenever the commission agreed, we'll loan the money to the cities, the financial constrained cities, to pay for the grant, and then be reimbursed. When y'all reimburse from DOT, then you reimburse the county. Then that way you will never have any insecurities that you'll have a cost overrun that the city can't afford, then couldn't afford to pay the county, because it would be just the MOU. And I think Ms. Jordan, myself, we did speak about it a week and a half ago, and Mr. Fuqua will work out the MOU on that, and we'll everybody feel comfortable then.
Does anybody else have anything on that? Or anything for the mayor? Attorney's report.
All right, so I handed out a copy of the email that I got back from DOT regarding the intersection at 79 and Moss Hill Road. Unfortunately, we did not check all of the boxes to get a traffic signal there. I looked up the signal warrants as literally as boxes that they check off, and we did meet enough, but they looked at the traffic flow, various other things that
Did they ever put something out there to check the traffic flow? But they didn't, because I go up there now, did you see anything?
They listed their metrics.
No, I'm just saying, saying, did they put anything there?
Across the road,
Yeah.
they don't do that much anymore.
Oh, so now they do it.
Modern technology.
I know, but they do it with something on the side or something.
I just find out.
I don't know how they do it. I know they don't put it across the road, but.
One thing we do need to do, go back and look to see when that camp was made. Was it made in the wintertime when we don't have the traffic on? When it
Was it made during the summer?
We need to go back and check that.
And
Well, not
plus
only
when
that, we also
there's,
have
school,
business there
when
now.
school is going on,
Yeah.
that, when school is going on, that place is very dangerous. When school is going on.
So what is our options, Michelle?
So I would recommend,
Do we admit
maybe
it?
having the mayor,
We submit
to
it?
have a diplomatic meeting with the folks at DOT. I don't know that we have any legal remedies.
I was just thinking with the new traffic that I've experienced since, the Dollar General's there and that opposite corner, there's business gonna go in there, we already know that. Maybe that would make a difference.
Ms. Baxter,
Yes.
at the RPPV, we had a meeting, City Chip was there. It's the email I sent out to invite y'all to last week, last Tuesday, we had another virtual today. But that's something important to come to. That's where they're putting their plans together for traffic counts, traffic flow. We had Caryville there, Wausau, Chipley. That one from
You
me.
sent us an invitation?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a few months ago, they
Yeah.
sent us the notice.
yeah, and it was last week, but we'll have them monthly.
I thought you said
And
last
Jeff,
week.
yeah, no, well, the meeting was last week.
Did it happen monthly?
We're having it bi-monthly. One was virtual, one was in-house, and Jeff Massey is the chairman. Our administrator is the chairman of that board. And that's where you'll get your roads in and your intersections.
Do you send it to everybody?
I just sent it to the
You said they had
admin.
it, I was mistaken, he had it, it was sent months ago. They had the meeting last week.
Last Tuesday. But yeah, we have it, and I'll continue to send it to the admin email, or have staff to, but y'all are copied on that email, so.
Okay.
That's where you'll get your roads, all your matrix for that.
You have anything else, Michelle?
I would like to address the allegations that were made against me last week and some concerns that I have about that working relationship going forward. I was notified that I had been accused by the clerk of yelling at her and putting my hands in her face at the meeting on September 6th. And I went back Friday night and watched not only the meeting from last week that Mr. Mutz covered for me, but the meeting from the 6th. It's very obvious that I did neither of those things. She's accused me of assault. I don't know if everyone's grasped that, but I was accused of assault. And thankfully, in this instance, there was video evidence that I did not assault anyone. But I'm not willing to put myself in a position going forward where those kinds of allegations can be made against me and there aren't any witnesses or video to back me up. So from this point forward, I'm not willing to be alone in a room with your clerk. I'm not willing to have a phone call with your clerk where there's not at least one of you, either the mayor or a city council member, on the phone. No offense to the deputy clerk, but I don't feel like at this point with the allegations that have been raised by the clerk against her, that her word is strong enough that she can serve as a witness. I won't be engaging in any correspondence with your clerk that doesn't have either the mayor or a council member involved. I don't even want to come into this building if she's here unless I'm accompanied by a council member or the mayor. I'm extremely uncomfortable with this relationship. It's to the point that it's affecting my ability to do my job, and I have to let you all know that we're to the point that I have to look out for myself first rather than the city, which is the opposite of what the bar ethics require of me. And so I have to let you all know. And however you need to deal with that, that's fine, but I have to put down some boundaries to protect myself, protect my reputation. And that's not negotiable for me.
Go ahead.
She's still under probation, correct?
She is.
She is. With that being said, then you know, if she doesn't have, if the lawyer doesn't have confidence in it,
Well, it's gonna create a really
it's gonna
bad
create a bad situation regardless. Does she have to be present to be let go?
No.
Anybody else got anything they want to say? I don't know, Becky.
Yeah. My first question is, does discussion on this need to be put on the agenda?
If you're gonna take a vote,
Okay. So, there's a lot of items on the agenda, but I think that this is very important, so, I'm gonna put it as number 1, and we're just gonna back everything up from there. Further discussion about the clerk. Item number 1, and we'll just move down from there because we're not gonna wait for her to be here.
She's under probation.
Not given those circumstances, so I don't think that. I think it needs to be discussed now. Do you have anything else
I
to
don't.
add, Michelle? Do anybody have any questions for Michelle? And you reviewed last week's meeting as well.
I did.
Okay. Clerk's report. Rose, do you have anything?
Most of my stuff is listed under new business. One thing I did want to let you guys know, however, I did have to do our DEO site visit. Due to the fact that it was a little last minute, it was me and Chad that did it, and the DEO people still felt like they had some questions they wanted answered, but we did our virtual visit today, and I basically called everyone that I thought might be able to answer their questions. So I think they got what they wanted today. Like Mr. Gary was on the call because I know he does a lot with like the grants. I think we had 2 to 3 representatives from Fred Fox. Dale Long was on the call, June was on the call, Jason was on the call. I feel like they got what they wanted, hopefully, and they did. This is from Fred Fox, and I'm not entirely certain what this is. I think this is like the plan for how to use the grant money that we're trying to get. And they brought me this one copy that's very, very, very long. So I did not make a copy for everybody, but it's in the office if anybody wants to see it. Or if you really want your own copy, let me know and I will get you your own copy. But everything else is pretty much, that I can think of to talk about, is pretty much already listed.
That is on the wastewater treatment plant in Springfield.
Yes, this one is.
And that'll be, you have that available so we can come in.
Yeah, if anybody wants to look at it, they, like I said, they only brought me this one.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, I didn't have enough paper to make a copy of everybody. So, yeah, it's available to anybody that wants to see it. I mean, I'm guessing anybody, not just you guys, is free to look at it. And like I said, if you really want your very own copy, I will work on getting you one.
It's not necessary, I'll come look at it. All right, does anybody have anything for Ms. Rose? Recreation report.
Tim's not gonna be able to be here, and he passed along a couple of things to me, a couple of extra things. The one thing that I found of his that I included is numbered. It's a approval for a invoice, but he let me know that there was another invoice, and then he also got a quote that I believe you guys were interested in, scoreboards for the sportsplex. So I've got those. Additionally, this one you can just hang on to till we get ready to vote about whether or not we can pay this other invoice, I guess, and we'll do this at the same time. And then this is the possible quote for the scoreboard signs at the sports place.
Yeah.
Are you collecting,
If I'm remembering correctly, the last time Timothy was here, he said that he was gonna be over in Helmets, didn't he? But I don't think that's true.
Well, that's invoice, like we already spent that much.
The invoice here for the
And then
helmets.
that's a quote, and then I have another invoice.
Didn't he mention that he was gonna be ordering helmets for the last meeting, or am I remembering incorrectly?
Just let me know.
I don't know that he told us the price or anything, but I thought he mentioned. Nobody remember?
I wasn't.
I don't think it was the last meeting, but I remember him talking about the
No,
helmets.
yeah, that's what I was thinking, maybe the last time he was here.
Didn't he say that somebody was paying for this helmet? That we weren't, it was gonna come out of our budget, right?
I don't remember that.
I don't remember that, but.
I just remember him saying something about the helmet, but this is an invoice, that's.
Here's the one that was already in the packet.
Okay, I've already got the thing out of
Did you already got that one?
No, it's okay.
No, you can't have this one, this is mine. Okay, you.
You know.
Okay.
But you can't have it.
Well, is that it for recreation? Anybody have any questions or comments? I'm looking at the, go ahead.
He ordered 15 of one and 10 of the others. I don't have a problem with him ordering the stuff because it is safety gear for the kids. If they're gonna be playing tackle football, they got to have helmets that are probably. If one of them gets hurt, I have a hard time letting him go. So,
I'm just looking on our long list here. Okay, it's number 11. Is that what this invoice goes with? This one?
Yes, but this, so on number 11, that's not that invoice I just handed you, it's a different invoice that's already in your packet. Cause I double checked with Tim today and was like, is there anything else? And he sent me that one too. And then he sent me the scoreboard quote.
That one on the recreation, yeah, get the fence line cleared or something.
Yeah, the one
Yeah.
that's, number 11 is about cutting the tree limbs off the fence.
The fence.
Okay, so we need to add this invoice to that?
Yes, yes.
So add that to number 11. Public Works report.
The only thing I have, as everything else is on the paper, is the generators. I know last time I told y'all about getting generator service. Well, they're more than 500 to get each one of them serviced. They're right at 600 a piece to get them serviced. The generator here that runs City Hall, I guess 3 or 4 weeks back, it was hit by lightning. So it'll be almost $2,000 for them to, he just gave me a rough estimate to fix this one back here. It fried the starter, control panel, a rough estimate was right at, it was like 2,700. That was, I didn't know what y'all wanted to do about that.
What is that running about?
It runs the City Hall when it goes down. So right
Don't we
now,
have insurance?
right now, the power, if it goes out, City Hall's down.
Wouldn't that fall under our,
I missed the first part.
The
Lightning.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, that should be, I mean, I don't know what your deductible is. I don't know if the deductible's gonna be higher than the claim, but
Yeah. He just gave me a rough, when he come out here to look at it, he gave me a rough estimate, and it was right around 2,700 just for that one. All the rest of them were maybe like 570 something. So I just said 600. That's the service on, do the belts, everything.
that's 3?
Yeah, 3 of them.
600 piece.
Yeah. Well, and that's through Taylor, who we use. But I wanted to ask y'all about the City Hall one on that one. How,
I think we need to find out what the deductible is on the insurance before we go forward with that one. Ready to make a note of that? And as far as the other ones, we have to have those over there. The generators. Because it's over 500, can we just tell him to do it, or does that need to be voted on?
If it's less than 500, you can do it.
No, it's 600 apiece.
Yeah,
You have-
right
we
at
have-
600 apiece total.
But if we have a major storm,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just,
it's emergency. I mean,
so, number 20 is approving having
Number 3.
generators. Number 20. Approving for the 3 generators. And then we'll have, have them check on what the insurance deductible is on this one.
The rest of that stuff's on the. That's it.
Do we have any public participation? Did anybody sign the sheet right?
Somebody did, somebody from some kind of training, I should probably should, yeah.
Fire department.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
This is my
Y'all, I
first
wrote it down and I'm looking at it here. Mr. Sealing?
Yes,
You have a fire department report?
Yes, ma'am. Not too much. Just wanted me to let y'all know the final safety compliance check for the grant will be for this month for the CBAs. The ISO representative will be visiting next month and will need assistance on hydrant info from Public Works. They need that information as soon as possible. He's wanting to purchase 5 more pagers. The ones we got, they're really great. You can replay the last call if you didn't hear it on the radio when it first went out. So I assume he's gonna get the same ones as last time. He said, he just texted me now. Also, please bring up a quote from Timmy about getting the network up to par. So I'm not sure what that was about. He just
Yeah, it's
texted me.
about getting their internet along the same lines with what we have here.
So Shaq actually called me like literally 5 minutes before we started and asked me about it, and I believe he sent it to the, I believe he may have sent it to the clerk's email, which I do not currently have access to, so I did not know anything about it until he called me 5 minutes before the meeting started, and I there's no way I can get it right this second. We're gonna have to get it next time.
Okay, so we don't have that quote.
I don't know if we do or not,
I know last time he was talking about it, something to do with the lines outside coming into the station. I don't know if it got cut or something, but something's wrong with it there.
While you brought that up, that I need to go ahead and address this, that I was gonna talk to you guys about later, because it coincides with that and what she just said. The computer, the clerk's computer was on, and over the weekend, it was, when I say it was on, I'll say it was left on, and it was accessible by Rose, where she was able to pull these resolutions and things that we needed to get the advertising stuff for Michelle about our budget. Over the weekend, for some reason, the computer closed. She does not have the password to get into the clerk's computer to check the emails. We all know all the important emails go straight to the clerk's email first. If she needs to get into something before Karen returns, she can't. She's reached out through Karen's clerk phone and has had no response. I asked the attorney about it and talked to Rose about it, but she wanted it to be put before council. We can have IT just reset the password so that computer can be accessed, because Karen's not scheduled to come back until the 22nd. And if she needs to get on that computer to get anything, or like this email, she can't do it without a code. So I would think that the quickest way would be to just have IT just do set up another code so she can access the computer. Otherwise, it's locked out. And if it had not been open, the other day we would have been in a really bad way because we were on deadlines as far as getting our budget hearings and everything out for advertisement. And Michelle and Rose worked together to get that done. So I appreciate everybody doing that when we've been in trouble. But somehow or another over the weekend it got shut down, so we need to deal with that.
I always kind of joke that it's the ghosts, but like my computer is weird when I come back from the weekends. I don't know if the lights flicker off or what happens while we're not here, but like for instance, I opened my computer this morning and there was a blank Word document open. I close everything before I go home. I don't know where that came from. The clerk's computer, the desktop had not closed the days that she had not been here. It never locked itself, thankfully, so we could get stuff. But then when I came in here this morning, it was locked. And I have no idea how to get in it and did not get a response when I requested the password.
I don't know, other than checking the security cameras. I don't know if we lost power.
Well, I know that there's a girl that comes in and cleans over the weekend, and I put notes on the computers, like in case she dusted or whatever. I was like, please do not close, please do not close. I don't know what happened. Like I said, maybe the lights flickered and it went down, and when it kicked back up, the desktop was locked.
So is council okay with her calling IT tomorrow and seeing about getting a reset?
Everybody good with that? Okay.
Better to have it than not need it. Public participation.
There's Trina Jackson, Community Training, Goodwill Industries in Chipley.
Right here. So do I go to the podium? Or?
It's up to you, ma'am.
Okay, well, I'll stand here. I think I can talk loud enough. My name is Trina Jackson. I'm actually coming on a neighborly visit just to let everyone know that the Community Training Center in Chipley has reopened since Hurricane Michael and COVID. And a lot of people know about the Goodwill Industry stores, but don't know a lot about our community training centers. I'm actually the center manager for the Panama City location, which is located in Springfield, but I also supervise the center in Chipley that's at 1301 Main Street, right next door to the store, and the one in Mariana that's actually in the store. So all the trainings that we offer is actually free to the community. We service the Goodwill Big Bend area, so that's from Madison County all the way over to half of Okaloosa County. So I just want to kind of let everybody know that we are there. We offer things such as CNA training, free of charge, computer skills, QuickBooks, Adobe, all different types of things to help people become more employable. And we also offer employment services where we try to place people in jobs that pay at least a livable wage, at least $15 an hour. So we train and we also do job placement. So if you know of anybody who's interested, and then also I wanted to present to the City Council, we also offer what we have are digital tech scholarships, which is a grant that we have from Google, where we have about 5 different areas that citizens are able to train if they're interested in entering tech careers. And if they do one of our Google trainings, they can roll over into an internship program that's actually through a grant with CareerSource. So we're looking at ways to get our citizens in this area, and because I'm originally from South Washington County, South Washington County, I wanted to make sure that we let the citizens of Vernon, Proper, and all of the surrounding communities know that they have access to that center in Chipley, or Panama City if they're in that area, but Chipley is the closest one, that they have access to those services free of charge. A lot of them are online, so even if they can't come to any of our centers, I can work with them in terms of getting them trained up, good jobs, and hopefully bring more jobs to this area that people don't have to leave Vernon, or don't have to leave Washington County to get high-paying jobs, especially in the tech industry. So I have some materials here that I can leave for you, but if you have any questions, I can be reached at 850-522-3900. That's our main number, and my name again is Trina Jackson, and we're at the Community Training Center. I'm in Springfield, but like I said, we have offices in Chipley and in Mariana.
I wasn't even aware that there was one in Chipley.
Yeah, there is. It's right next door to the store. And everything you buy in the store funds everything that we do in our training center. So when you say, oh, Goodwill is expensive, we're kind of expensive, but it goes to a good purpose.
Thank you. You said you had some materials to leave?
Yes, and I can leave this packet, I don't know who wants to take it, but it has information about our digital tag and all of our career training as well.
Thank you, ma'am.
And my cards are in there.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Yes, ma'am, thank you, Ms. Jackson. Does anybody else have anything for public participation? Number one, new business, let's go back to the discussion of the clerk issues that the attorney has run into. If we have any employee, especially a main hub employee, in my opinion, there has to be a good working relationship with the attorney. First and foremost, all the information that we get comes straight to that office position and then goes out. All the information that we get from the attorney generally goes straight to that position and then to us. So we have a problem. In the last 2 weeks, everybody's received the emails, everybody's received the correspondence, the reports from our clerk. She made an announcement at the last meeting. She responded to emails, Rose put some things in writing, and at the last meeting I said that if something that had not been reported, was not in the information that had been reported to me, that I would do it at the next meeting. And I don't remember her wording, and I'm not going to dig through all this paperwork because we have a long agenda. While Miss Rose did mention something about some almost physical, I forget the wording of it, almost physical confrontation, Miss Rose in person showed me that the clerk stepped toward her in a raised hand as if she was going to slap her in the face. I hate to report this, but an employee reported that to me, and it's my responsibility to let council know these things. This is not the first time that an employee's come to me about something I've brought it to council, which I will continue to do. If any member of any of our employees, supervisors, whatever, have an issue, I strongly advise that they reach out to the mayor or a council member immediately, especially in an incident like that, because first of all, I'm not comfortable with having to worry about such things going on in City Hall. I don't appreciate I may fumble this a little bit, but I'm just going to say it. Supervisors and people in business workplaces do not conduct themselves that way. It's just not.
And she did not actually touch me, and she laughed, and she acted like it was a joke, but I was uncomfortable, and there was a customer standing there.
Well, as
I did not think it was funny.
As a servant of the community and as a council member, my concern is for all of our employees, not just one or two, everybody across the board. My concern is for my council members, my employees, my city, my community, citizens, and we can't have two people under the same roof and behavior going on like that. There's instances of, Rose reported to me that the clerk leaves over her at her position at desk at work with arms and other body parts rubbing up against her, that she has requested that not to be done, that it makes her uncomfortable, and the response was, that's why I do it. These things do not need to be happening within the city of Vernon under any circumstances. To me, it's intimidation. It's just not something that should be going on. We are not children. This is a business, and we're here to support and help our community. And there's no place for that kind of behavior in my mind at all at City Hall or with Public Works or streets. Nowhere within the city. We don't do those things to one another. And it's just, that's my opinion on that. I said if it wasn't in documentation, then I would let y'all know. And those were two things that she let me know about. There was some other little things, but basically, the supervisor, in my mind, is held to even a higher standard. Our public works director is held to a higher standard, in my mind. And they have an obligation to those that they supervise to do what's right. And I don't see that, I don't see this working out. I just don't see it. I don't know what council wants to do about it, what council's opinion is on it, but I do not see this, I don't see us coming back from this kind of behavior. I don't see us getting to a place where our attorney feels comfortable dealing with the clerk on her own, which is gonna cause some major issues and some slowdowns, and we don't need that right now either. I mean, at this point, they spent enough putting the emails with my name on. I'm in the same boat. I don't want to deal with it without there being a witness. And even my phone calls are generally on speakerphone because of that. So that if there is a witness, and it's just not a good working environment.
Whatever council does, I don't support. But in the meantime, you need to make a phone call,
Listen, I don't know who read or didn't read or took the time to go through what I said in my response,
She did write a report.
but I have kept all this to myself because I have been taught that when you have issues, you solve them at the lowest level possible. What happens on shift stays on shift. That's how I was taught. So I have worked and I have tried and I have kept my mouth shut, maybe I shouldn't have, hoping things would resolve, hoping it was stress, hoping once the budget was fixed up, everybody would feel better, hoping things would fix themselves, hoping things would get better, and some days they would be better. And I mentioned in what I said, I never know what I'm driving over to. I never know what I'm coming to over here. Never. I get physically ill driving over here some mornings because I never know what I'm fixing to walk into. But I had never said a word until those emails started. And the actual words were not used, but it was very clearly insinuated that I was a thief, that I was a liar, that I disregarded my job. And I don't know of anybody sitting up here that would sit still for those type of accusations and not say anything back. It was never my intention to get Ms. Karen in trouble. It was never my intention to drag her through the mud, but I've been put in a position where the only way to defend myself is to tell the truth and to tell my side of it, which makes somebody else look bad, and I'm sad about that. It's not what I want. It's honestly, it's kind of ridiculous that it's come to this point.
What I'm saying, I'll back the council on whatever decision. If the attorney needs to make a phone call, I'll be glad to come down here. But I cannot see that continue to happen.
We don't have the time.
Correct.
Nobody has all that much time to.
Every
because
time she has to conduct
our attorney
business.
is in constant, I know, if not daily, at least 2 or 3 times a
Not
week,
today.
she has to have contact with our clerk. And our deputy clerk has contact on a daily basis. I have contact on a weekly basis. I'm at a place where I'm gonna have to bring a witness up here when I come to sign
We don't
checks.
have that now. Where we get these people from to go? I don't have that kind of time. They will bring it here.
So, with that being said, I'm gonna call for a motion, to terminate Karen White as the clerk, on the grounds that have been discussed. I'm asking for a motion.
I make a motion to terminate Ms. Karen White as clerk of City of Vernon.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion? We're gonna have to, if this passes, we're gonna have to have the keys, the codes.
She has all that stuff.
That's what I'm saying, I'm looking at the attorney trying to see how this, if this passes, when we make this vote, how do we need to proceed? So we're clear when we make this motion, what's gonna go on, when we make this decision.
Please send her notification in writing of what she needs to bring back.
And that would, you would do that?
I'm not comfortable in these circumstances, with doing that myself. But Mr. Muntz, worked together to have that communication. I was able to communicate with Ms. Walker to retrieve some things we needed from her, afterwards, but I don't have that kind of relationship, that's why
So would that be something that Mr. Muntz could do?
I'm sure that he would.
Excuse me, I don't mean to butt in, but I'll make sure that she'll get you whatever you need.
Thank you, Steve.
Not a problem.
Any more discussion?
Do we still have to make a list? We still need the list, right?
Well, we know, we know what it is, code, keys,
No, but I'm saying,
passwords.
so that we can sign
And we
off
need
that all
to-
that stuff was returned.
Set a date that she, is able to come and retrieve any personal belongings with a witness. Somebody from the city to be here.
I can do that.
Okay. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. Rose, make a note, if you will, we're gonna need to put out an advertisement to advertise for a new clerk. And Ms. Michelle, you'll have Jeremy send out a letter. Also, Rose, go ahead with the
computer thing.
the computer password change, and do you have the ability to remove a code from,
Not that I know of.
okay,
Tim, mine.
Are you talking about
security
the,
The code
system?
is security system code.
And the time clocks, we need to code
I don't
for
even know
that.
how to utilize our time clocks. I don't know how I'm gonna do payroll. I have no idea, literally none.
Well, we have,
Like I do it.
a CPA that's,
Do you have the same little machine, Jason?
Yeah, I do payroll different. What I do is I take the time clock and I.
you're talking about time, not payroll, right?
Well, no, Garrett does the payroll, but I don't know how to get the time out of the machine for him to have it.
There's a code.
Yeah, that's, Michelle, that's something else.
See, like, I have one for my guys, but there should be one for that one there too.
And that part of it we'll figure out, and then Mr. Lee does payroll.
Okay, and then the issue with the security system is, as I related to you when I got that phone call, the person in charge of the security system is listed as someone who doesn't work here anymore. And I could not tell them to turn off the alarm because I have no idea what the password to do that would be.
That's already been addressed, and
Like
it's been handled.
They're not even gonna talk to me, so I don't, or they didn't want to then, like, they were like, no, we're gonna have to send the police out to clear the alarm, and I was like, okay.
Okay, well,
I don't even know where to start to try to fix that.
either myself or the mayor, the contact number, and one of us, or it may end up having to be both of us, separately contact them and let them know what's going on, because we've now changed clerk swaps, and it's still under the old information. We never changed that, so.
Tracy was supposed to contact them.
It was,
It's still under.
it's still in Tracy's name. I thought it had been taken care of as well, but we just found out that it had.
The phone is still in her name.
That was supposed to have been changed as well.
That phone is still in her name. When it comes up on my phone, it's still in her name.
Do you want me to send a letter to the alarm company?
Because that
You
phone,
can.
all that stuff is, that phone, I
And
know
at
it's
the
still in
moment,
her
until
name.
we.
I mean, I can get in and out of the building, but other than that,
And all that code needs to be taken out, and we're just gonna have to do the best we can do. Anybody else have anything to add to any of that? Before we move on. Number 2, review completed employee evaluations. At this time, can we just table that?
I make a motion we table 1 and 2.
What's gonna be 2 and 3?
Oh, 2 and 3, I'm sorry. I said 1 and 2. 2 and 3.
I just need to make sure it's right.
That's okay.
That's it.
So 2 and 3 are tabled, discussion, all in favor? Aye. Motion carries, table 2 and 3. Number 4, advertisement for the budget hearing. Michelle?
So the only date that was available that meets all of the legal requirements for your final budget hearing is September 26th.
That's the one I called everybody about. The only person that said they wouldn't be there was Joey.
So do I have a motion to set it for that date?
Make a motion we do
Second,
26 for the final budget hearing.
discussion. All in favor? Aye. Motion carried. Review the budget for 22 and 23 fiscal year.
This is pretty much just what I found that was in the Karen's computer. I'm not sure if this is different from the last time she gave it to y'all, but this is what we're going with.
So the first page of the budget summary is different than what we advertised. I worked with Lee on Friday, so.
I'm not sure that this is the same information we've been going with.
Oh, is it different now?
This is the last one I have. This one.
Yes. Lee prepared a draft, balanced budget, which is balanced in the sense that, it zeroes out, but not necessarily balanced in that the numbers are where you want them.
Can you send me that, please? I can put it in
I don't see where you at this time, you got a choice, really.
And we know that we're gonna have them in the budget anyway.
Oh, yeah.
It's a, oh, we didn't have that.
Most definitely. Yeah.
So, do we want? Oh, we already did. We passed the advertising.
I'll help you, Rose.
So, Michelle, we need to pass this as is tonight?
So you're gonna do that by resolution.
Okay, that's
You've
on
got
down.
two,
I see those 2 resolutions.
Yeah, okay.
the first is adopting your tentative millage, and the second is adopting the tentative budget.
Okay. We just have to do that.
So we're gonna move forward with 6 and 7. And then I'm assuming we're gonna set a date.
The date has to be the 26th.
No, I mean, we're gonna have to work on, we're gonna have to address this again. At a time when we can all be here and Mr. Lee can be here.
I couldn't hear you, I'm sorry.
Let's just move on with resolutions. What I was saying was, we're going to have to set up another meeting.
Oh, okay.
Okay. A resolution of the City of Vernon, Washington County, Florida, adopting the tentative levy of millage for ad valorem taxes for the City of Vernon for the fiscal year 22/23, provided for an effective date. Resolution number 22-184. Do I have a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve.
Second. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Motion carried. Resolution is adopted. Number 7, resolution 22-185. Resolution of the City of Vernon, Washington County, Florida, adopting a tentative budget for the fiscal year 22-2023, providing for an effective date. Do you have a motion to approve?
I mean, motion to approve.
Second? Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Number 8. Report to be given by auditor.
This over here.
So I might be an unfamiliar face for some, but I'm Josh Riley. I'm one of the CPAs at McDaniel and Associates. And basically, I was just gonna come talk to y'all about the 2021 audit, which was a year ago. And basically what I like to do is just give a general summary. I don't think it's necessary for us to go line by line through the financial statement, and you'll have a really long agenda today. So basically, just in a general summary, the city did pretty well. The cash was up about $121,000 for the general fund. So I'll separate this out and talk about general and then business type, which would be your water department separate. So your cash was up and your total assets increased by $235,000. There really wasn't a whole lot of change. The biggest two things other than cash to point out is that the AR went up for the ARPA funding that y'all were expecting to receive and did receive. So that got included in accounts receivable. And then depreciation is always going to knock your fixed assets down as long as you don't purchase more assets. So the net of all of that basically increased your asset by $235,000. Your liabilities are down. That basically, for the most part, it's just going to be paying off debt. You know, you're making your normal debt payments and you didn't take on any more debt. So it was down about $79,000, which is good. Net position, which is just kind of the bottom line, if you ever hear people talk about that, is up $266,000. Another good sign. Revenue for the governmental funds was up $439,000. Again, most of that is from booking the receivable for the ARPA funds. So that, I think that was $350-ish, somewhere in the ballpark of that, I believe, off the top of my head. So that's where most of that increase in revenue comes from. So that is more of the governmental side. For the water side, assets are down $275,000. It just basically means everything stayed the same except your fixed assets, which you included depreciation, so they decreased. So basically, in general, your assets are going to be the same sort of cash, receivables, they're going to be very close to the same as last year. Liabilities then decreased another $78,000. Again, that's just paying off debt. That's what we would expect to happen. Net position is down $225,000. That's just where your income is closing to your net position for the year. So the water department showed a loss. I could tell you the financial page if you wanted to see where that's at. If you ever, because this is probably on the more important page that y'all want to see. So that is on page 13. I'm sorry, that's not. Should have written the page number down. Sorry. It starts on page 18, and you can see there the change in net position, which would be your net income or loss is down $225,000. That sounds worse than it is. A lot of that is where depreciation is included in that. Which, so if you backed out depreciation, which I think is going to be a better way for us to look at it, because that's going to come out as an expense every year, you're going to show a positive income of $83,000. So, because depreciation expense is $309,000 for the year. So I mean, all in all, really everything looks pretty good. No major things jumped out at us in the audit. I think working with Lee, it's helped out a lot. A lot of the entries and stuff that normally it seemed like were being made in the audit in the prior years were already addressed by him. So we did not have too many entries. I think our biggest one was just that we recommended for the AR to be booked for the ARPA fund, but that really was not an issue. And like I said, it worked really well with Lee in getting all that put together. There was no really new findings that haven't been findings mentioned on your financial statements in the last years. I mean, you're always going to have some of the same ones as far as segregations of duties. There's only 2 people that work here, so they're going to interact, and so the opportunities for fraud are just there because of that. And that's just a very typical thing when you see a small city that's not particular to y'all. And then just with the turnover rate that is happening, you're going to keep seeing that knowledge not grow as much. So then you'll see that one of the findings, these are like the very last things listed, are going to be just knowledge of financial statement, but again, that's more of the turnover and not getting the experience with them. But that's just, all those are repeat findings from the prior years. I didn't see any necessarily, like I said, anything significant to report because of this audit that we performed for the 2021 year. That's, unless y'all have any questions for me,
No, sir, and this next one some of that should be alleviated by the fact that we have hired a CPA.
correct. And that's one of the things with the audit that we did in the 2021 year, that's, right before Lee came in and his firm came in with that afterwards. So yeah, I think we'll see a totally different year. Not like anything like that necessarily stuck out bad, but I do expect really good things with our relationship moving forward. But I expect good things to come. We appreciate y'all using us at y'all's audit firm too.
We appreciate you as well.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for coming.
Yes, ma'am. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
A lot better than I did. Oh, I guess I can grab my laptop. I don't want to do anything.
I'm gonna jump in here real quick and ask, well, I'm gonna let council y'all realize that, Mr. Lee here is gonna be helping us finish this budget, so there may be, a little extra expense, but you have agreed to help. Yes.
I can help. Yep. So my plan would be start, those audit balances, and obviously we're going to back some things off of there, like the ARPA money and any projects that was that were purchased in the audit period, and then us also discuss any upcoming projects to make sure we have those in. I don't think it's going to be a huge undertaking to do that, and we can always amend the budget later if we decide to spend more money on something, and that's in the audit reports you always see a huge budget to actual difference. I think small municipalities fail in amending their budget, doing a formal amendment. That's something we can also start working on in the future too.
And you don't feel there's gonna be any issue with us meeting our deadline?
So we got to have it submitted by the 26th, right? Is that what?
They have to approve it.
Okay. Okay.
On the 26th.
Okay. And we could also discuss through email. Are we able to do that? Or we have to go like a formal meeting or workshop?
To discuss line items, they'll need a workshop.
Okay. Okay.
You may need a workshop before then?
We'll have to, right, Michelle?
I would think so.
Okay.
I mean, unless you want to do the workshop immediately before
the
your, yeah.
Are we gonna be able to cover everything, Lee?
We probably, I mean, what do you think, 2 hours? I think we could go down it at the most. I think we can make it.
What, can we do anything this week, guys?
That's the council, I'll be here whenever y'all want.
Huh?
Do you wanna do it, you want us to set up a special
This week?
meeting this week? We're talking about, today's the 19th.
I know.
I don't have a problem doing it all in one meeting. That's up to y'all.
Because we can always amend it.
Correct.
So we want to get it close, but we can choose round numbers, and it doesn't have to be just
Just
exact.
cut and dry.
Right. I mean, we understand what our operating overhead, just costs are,
So
and
you
then
just wanna have it at our regular, at the 26th meeting before that?
So can we come earlier? Or do you have problems with that?
I don't have a problem with that.
Do you leave?
no, I'm okay.
What time? On the 26th.
Chad?
I don't have a problem.
I think Michelle's looking at her calendar.
She'll be here.
Yeah, I could be here.
4:30? Okay. Yeah.
On the 26th.
Rose, make sure you're home.
Yeah.
Isn't the office
The office
still be
doesn't close
open?
till 5.
Huh?
Oh, so it's
Yeah,
till 5.
she'll be up.
That's the sign.
Well, I mean, it's up to y'all. I would put the sign on the
Yeah,
door.
we'll
Just put the sign on the door.
We'll just put the sign on the door, we're closing early that day.
Hey,
All right.
4:30.
yeah, 4:30. The 26th, Jason, 26th.
Okay, is that, everybody's good, there's nothing else to discuss there?
So since we've advertised the budget hearing, if for some reason you finish with your discussions early, you still won't be able to adopt your budget until 5:30.
Okay.
Just make sure everybody's expectations are clear.
Yeah. Well, it's two meetings, basically.
Yeah.
So, we're having a budget workshop, and then we're having a meeting.
Meeting at 5:30.
Yeah. Okay. Number 9, update on grant for sewer treatment plant in Sprayfield, the DEO visit.
I kind of accidentally did that already.
Yeah.
My bad.
So, we're just gonna move
Well, that's
on.
okay.
Unless somebody else has anything on that.
I did ask Road to, get the man's name and his meeting day and his email. I'm gonna try to send you some information. He kind of I felt like he needed some reassurance that this project would get done. I'm gonna send him some reassurance information. Ask him if there's anything else the city can get for him. Just touch base with him.
Number 10, update on the livestock ordinance.
So, I know everybody was like, the horse is in town. So, a couple of things, it's kind of been discussed. We're not really in a position where we can effectively enforce our ordinances, even if they are written properly. And this one was misworded. Where it should say livestock, it says domesticated animals.
That's what it said, domestic. It doesn't say livestock.
So, what is that?
Domesticated animals usually refers to things like cats and dogs.
And if you wanted to take time to read the copy of the email I sent to Michelle, I read a year's worth of meeting notes to figure this out, how it got that way. The mirror ordinances in Chipley and Washington County say livestock. Ours says domesticated animals, which means even if we could enforce it, it's so vaguely open to interpretation, we really couldn't. So that's that.
Okay, little tidbit on the animal. There is a red fox, a large red fox that was spotted crossing the road right here on Max Batter at the property that Mr. Coleman owns, crossing the road to the property that the Stuckey's, not the one that they live in, but the Stuckey property next to the Walker property, and going in the backyard headed this way. This afternoon. So,
I think, Michelle, didn't you mention that
just so y'all know,
we could, ask for assistance from Washington County if the animal was like dangerous or running amok or?
Sheriff's office.
Yeah, Chad's the animal control, that's right. He's an
Chad is.
animal control officer.
Yeah.
But I was just letting everybody know that,
Be careful.
yeah, I mean, he wasn't afraid, he wasn't, and he was right here at Tennessee. Lucky where he's going.
Maybe somebody's pet.
Okay. We have anything else on that? Number 11, project graduation donation. They send out a letter every year.
I know what we did last year.
Last year, we gave them $1,500. And I think the year before we did that too.
Huh?
I think we've done that 2 years in a row. Giving them $1,500. So I don't know if this is something that won't do. We don't have to do it tonight. We just need to keep in mind for the budget that we have been giving them $1,500 every year, and as far as I'm aware, I have not. I do not know if the Haunted Hallway or Fall Festival will be happening this year. The Haunted Hallway or the Fall Festival.
I haven't heard anything
Everybody that I have spoken with is not involved anymore, so I don't know.
I have gotten a couple of phone calls, people wanting to know if we've decided when we're doing trick or treat.
Oh, that's another thing.
We need to set that.
Saturday night instead of Monday.
That's fine with me, whatever council wants.
Does that need to be like put on an agenda and voted on? Cause we're looking at having our next like meeting that's not about the budget a week away from Halloween.
the third week of
We normally
October.
vote on, or do we just agree?
We just swear the date, just set a
Just say
date.
this is when we're doing it.
Just set a
And
date.
what are we doing it from 5 to 7 or from 5:30 to 7:30?
I think it was from 5 to 7, I think. I don't know.
So
5 to 7.
5 to 7 on the 29th, that's the Saturday. That works?
That works.
Cool.
What I was saying was, I missed a call from Annette, tried to call her back and text her back, and no response, and everybody else is,
She's usually up here by then.
Yeah.
well, yeah, I think, I'm not sure that it's gonna happen this year.
She loaned me one of her cards and she said, "No, I need this back for when I have my thing." So when I was talking to her, she sounded like she was gonna do it.
Like I said, I don't know, that's what I'm saying, in the past,
She's up here by now.
yeah, there's something going on, decorating and stuff like that, so I don't know what's going on with that, but the city themselves, the city of Vernon generally donates to project graduation every year anyway, and the amount is $1,500, so we're gonna have to put that in the budget, or that's the amount that we're agreeing on,
Right.
Now, we have to vote on that. We don't have to vote on that tonight, I'm not adding it to the agenda. This is for 2023. Just keep in mind and make a note, Rose, and at some point we'll vote on it at a regular meeting. Number 12, approval of payment for recreation, that's the helmet invoice and what was that other invoice, because it's not on
The trees.
on the trees.
Trees.
Do I have a motion to approve both, one,
But the helmets is more important, I think, right now for you to have.
Those others are recorded.
so is the other an invoice as well, or is it a price invoice?
So the scoreboard thing is a quote. The tree trimming and the football helmets, I believe we already have the services and the helmets, so we owe the money.
So the tree, I need a motion to approve the invoice for the tree trimming and the helmets.
We'll make a motion, we'll approve.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor? Aye. Motion carried. Number 13, water issues at Circle H.
So it was brought to my attention and then I confirmed it that there's been some ongoing issues with the water quality at Circle H that could possibly be due to some improper installation.
I guess this, what was that put in? Gerald was here. I guess when Circle H was moved over there, they tapped into an old metal line that was a faucet at the graveyard, and it's a little bit bad. I guess this metal line is pretty old. It's about 420 feet to go from Church Street to his meter to run a new line. That's what we'd have to do.
So has this been an issue since the building was moved, or is this something that's just
Well,
gonna happen?
he started complaining about his water, so I thought maybe it was just the line that needed to be flushed, and then we had the issues before. I thought it was just that. Well, then I found out that it was an old metal line they tapped into. And then every time he showed me his filters. So I thought it was just the line, but then I found out that when they put that in there, instead of running him a new tap, what they're supposed to, they just tapped into that old faucet that was out there in the graveyard.
How many feet did you say here?
100 feet from Church Street, that'd be the closest.
What side, Jay?
That'd be doing that 1-inch line, poly line, that'd be the cheapest, easiest route.
Which side of Church Street?
On this side. I wouldn't have to cut no road, I can actually go down to pavement.
And it's our responsibility.
I mean, he's tapped into our line pretty much. I guess that was just a quick fix to get them open when they moved over there, the way I took it.
What about the school design, that same line don't go
No, this is totally different.
just on his stuff?
Yeah,
What was there
there
before?
was a faucet out there. is what
No,
it
but I'm
was.
saying, what was there before? I don't remember. Where there separately.
Well, it was Circle H was, yeah. I guess it was an old faucet that was in the middle of the graveyard out there, and that's how they done away with that faucet.
There was nothing there?
So his water is coming from the graveyard, and where is the sewer?
The sewer runs, to 79, I mean,
It's bad,
277.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why they done that, I don't know. It's weird.
That's why I said there was nothing there before.
Yeah.
So why is there a tap there?
Yeah,
That was in the cemetery.
and
He
they
was
tagged.
telling you there was a water spigot in the cemetery.
That's how they done it. Cause see, and that was what Miss Rhonda had said that, she'd asked me before that there used to be a water faucet out there, well, I didn't, that's where the water faucet was. Yeah,
But the water's just gotten so bad now?
yeah, that pipe is,
It's been going on for a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. See, I just thought it was just a.
Where is it?
This is a,
Yeah, you laughing at me because I said something about a fox being in town.
I don't think you have really a choice.
No?
We'd have to,
Yeah,
we have to
fix it.
I mean, and I would actually, if we could, I would actually prefer it to come with the sewer. You know,
I mean, after what else we were about them, his meter's on the back side of them buildings over there.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know. This is before my time. I'm just fixing it. Old school
So,
stuff.
the sewer's coming off of 277.
Yep.
Across the road,
There, the sewer's on the side of his side.
but there's no water, where's the water that's going to the school?
Going to hit the school.
The
It's
school
on the
has
main
got
line
the
running
water
to
connections.
277.
You can't come off the
Why
school
did
one?
it tap over there? Well, where his meter and all that is on out there by the graveyard.
Well, would
I
it
have
be
to go.
cheaper just Jason to come off the school one?
No.
What's
It'd be
the-
a lot easier to go that route.
Go the other way?
The way
What you're talking about?
Yeah. I ain't gotta tear that concrete out and nothing.
We don't have any choice. I don't think it's anything that's gotta be voted on.
I already got my stuff. I'm just gonna stay here because we got more stuff to do.
how much you think that's gonna be?
Don't look at me.
What's a roll part two, bro? What's a roll part two, bro?
You bought number 10.
You gonna trench it, you gonna trench it?
Yeah, that's all, yeah.
Yeah. You might have to rent a trench for that problem.
If they're like, what's around, we talk about 450, 175.
We don't pay taxes on it.
Yeah, it's not that much. Okay. I don't even have anything else to say on that. Okay, you're gonna take care of that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Get the water out of the cemetery. Okay. You just can't make this stuff up, can we? Number 14, refund check issued to Hunter Farrar. Missing.
Yes. So it's gonna cost $36 to cancel the check and reissue it to them. It was never cashed. He doesn't have it.
Do we know that it was ever sent out?
I sent it out personally.
So it went out in the mail.
It did. It did not get where it was going, and it's never been cashed.
Well, was the address correct? Maybe the address was not.
He had moved, but he said he had a forward. He just happened to walk in the office. That's the only reason I got to talk to him. He said all his other mail caught up with him, but he never got this check. So I didn't know if you guys wanted me to give us more time.
He's been moved.
What, I'm sorry?
He lived at Mary's house, he moved out of there, he's been gone 2 years at least.
Well, that check is just off. Just pay for it. We have to pay that 36.
Go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go ahead and reissue.
15 tap in at 3426 Bull Mill Road.
So, we were thinking that we were gonna be able to do this, fairly easily, but that is not the case.
All right, we ready? We done the water tap. No problem, so we got that put in. The sewer tap for this house, I'm either gonna have to cut the road, the new road all the way across, or bore. So I reached out to Trey, because he does bore, and he told me $800 for us to bore, but I know we really need 3 quotes. But I don't wanna cut the road.
I did wanna bring up
Brand new road.
something else while we were talking about it. Now, I'm not saying we should do this, I'm saying it is in the ordinance that we can refuse service if it is cost prohibitive. We have that option if that's what we want to do.
What I was gonna do is, there was a house next door there and tap into that one. No, it's not there anymore, there was a trailer there beside it. But I can't, because it is, it's too far, and
Is there a tap deck there? I mean, the sewage thing?
Yeah, but if the man's paying in for his own tap, and you go down there and tap into the neighbor's sewer line, I know it works.
Yeah.
But you see where I'm coming
Yeah.
from? And if either one of them sewer starts backing up,
Yeah.
we have caused that problem.
Yeah, that's why I didn't wanna do it that route.
Is there a limit that the council has set previously of how much they can spend before it comes out to being too much?
Not that I can remember, Daniel. But,
Whatever it costs.
You're not gonna be, I'm telling you, you're not gonna be $800.
Now, the man that bought the property that's put the house there, that they have expressed that they may be willing to, help offset some of the costs. I don't know if that's a thing that we can do. I don't know if it works that way,
all we can do is ask him and say yes or no.
but I would assume that we would need to go to him with like an actual, this is how much it's gonna cost before we start being like, we need more money.
Doesn't the city charge for tapping anyway?
He's already paid in full, the regular tap. He's already paid that in full.
Well, we owe it, but it's gonna cost more.
It's gonna cost more than just a regular tap.
How much is the tap in fee?
I don't know.
For the sewer only, it's $1,437.50. For both of them together, it's $23.75.50, I think.
You go about gonna break even.
Yeah.
I think, Jason, you purchased North's policy. If you make 2 more phone calls, I think I'm right, but I got a copy at the house, I'll bring to you in the morning. She may be able to do it by phone.
So we're gonna get like quotes to dig up, to go under the road, is that
Yeah.
what we need to do?
Man, that's a
Okay.
brand new road.
All right, and then I guess we can go from there after we pick somebody to do it,
Yeah.
or see what the prices are. All right. All right, the next, miss,
Ma'am,
the next one.
number 16, water lines on Traverse Drive.
Okay, so there is
We discussed this before.
a big, complicated leak, and there's gonna have to be digging and cutting of tree limbs, and this is gonna be involved to fix.
This is the property that's in the Traverse down there, that's on the water, that we had, remember we had the issue with the right of way for the fence?
The one that was closing the gate.
Well, where the meter's at, it's leaking now. It's in a pine tree. It's at the bottom of the pine tree. So, it's private property. I mean, I know we have a right of way kinda, but it's gonna take some serious to move.
So Michelle advised me that when there's a reasonable expectation that we're going to do like heavy work, we need to get, the temporary construction easements from the homeowner so that we're protected.
Yeah.
So I'm just,
And we don't have an easement on file for that property.
No.
So, and it's up to the property owner to do that, not, right?
To grant us access.
But we're pumping water every day and losing water.
Yeah.
We just costing us. How much you think you lose a day?
Pretty good bit now.
well, it's implied that we can go out there to service our lines and our meters to an extent,
Yeah.
but we're talking about doing,
But you gotta repair that.
We gotta-
Heavy damage.
we gotta move.
Repair the damage.
Yeah.
So that's where the problem is.
so we need to ask Michelle to draft these temporary construction easements to protect us while we're out there digging holes and cutting trees to get this fixed.
So you can make an easement up when you go ask you to sign it?
Yes,
Okay.
and then when we're done, it goes away.
Yeah, we just won't bring it to y'all. I mean, it's easy to move, there won't be nothing to move, I mean, I just don't wanna do it.
Yeah, she's got it in her back pocket.
All right. Tap in at 3027 Green Street, number 17.
I cannot venture to guess how this plan and price was originally thought up, but, Green Street is a private road.
No, it's not.
Thankfully,
Okay.
from what we can find, Green Street appears to be a private road. We can't find any documentation anywhere if it belongs to the city or the county or being maintained or anything. Sometime before I worked here, this customer was quoted a price that you see there of almost $6,000 with the intention of trenching sewage pipe down Green Street, which is not what we do anyway. That's why we told the Mullins girl no. They would need to come out to Pompeii where the main sewer lines actually are. And it appears that the front part of Green Street is going through another homeowner's property. So we're the customer's in the process of getting an easement because they want underground power. But, and that's kind of how I discovered this, because they called me wanting me to produce the easement and on down the rabbit hole. So the actual price that they should have been quoted was the $1437.50, and they have overpaid beyond that by $1,936.98. And the attorney has also advised me that we should probably not do the tap-in at all until they have their easement squared away.
Isn't there water on that property?
There is water on that property. Because it's been there a certain amount of time, we have the right to maintain that water line and that meter, but we probably shouldn't have put it back there, and we shouldn't put anything else back
There was
there.
a meter already there, I guess from,
When 911 came, they named it, that's why it's called Green
been
Street.
there.
Because when they did the 911 property, that was a street.
In Washington County,
I know.
their policy is that every single road, public or private, should be named.
Names down there.
So just because it's named doesn't mean that it's
At one time.
public.
Because I know who used to own the property.
Yes, I thought they used to.
And
maintain
at one
that.
time, that road went all the way
Yeah.
around
But
and
if
came out of
it's,
Shady Grove.
if it's recorded, it'll be at the courthouse.
It should be there.
Yeah,
Because there
we
was
used
another
to-
house, you know where Lonnie's property is? There was, Jimmy knows.
Yeah, we used to ride through there.
That you used to ride all the way around and it was a road and you could take a car. 'Cause, well, the one they're talking about now, my dad's uncle lived there. The other uncle lived down where Lonnie place is. He had a place there and you could drive all the way around from Shady Grove, all the way around Green Street and come out at Pompeii. So I don't know what
That
happened
was
there.
Mr. Hoover Green.
Yeah.
No, that, well,
Probably
who was, probably owned it, but
Okay.
the old man owned it at first.
Okay.
Another old green man owned it at first. And then the other brother lived over where Lonnie lived, but Jason knew that road went, Jimmy knows it went all the way around, so I don't know how it got. But Lonnie has cut it off now.
There's
So
no
I don't know
mention of
what's
an
going on
easement
there.
in any of the deeds, anywhere.
So, but that road.
There's always been a meter back there, it's always been on our list, it was always shut off. We always checked.
And I know water was there, but I didn't know about sewage, but I knew water was
There's
back
no,
there.
there's no sewer line back there, so the problem is that without written, any kind of, documentation,
I don't know what he would have on his deeds or
we
anything.
can
I don't know. I don't
assume
know
that we
anything.
have an easement. Once we put a line and a meter out there, we're gonna have an easement to access that, to read the meter, or to repair up to the meter. But we can't go beyond that, and our easement doesn't, allow us to add anything else. So we can't put a sewer line in there without, I've either gotta have documentation that that is a public road, and that would allow us to run it along the county's, right of way, but I have to have that documented. Or we have to have express permission, written permission from the property owner to do that, so that's what we're lacking. So I had recommended that the property owner that wants the sewer line run get written permission, get an easement from the neighboring property owner. Because we haven't found any records that support.
And you can't find anything on it?
It's a public road.
Why did you check with Jerry Brock?
Yes, he's the one that owns all that around it now.
That's what I'm saying, but did you check with him about, because he was the 911 person with this, did
Yeah, I
you
didn't
check
think
with him about it?
Yeah.
About it being what it is?
But y'all researched it already?
I did, Michelle did, I reached out to the surveying company, no one was able to find any record anywhere of any easement or anything saying that that road belonged to anyone other than the property owner.
So, Michelle, your suggestion is to make contact with him and let him know that he needs to provide that in writing?
Yeah.
And then we do the tap, or we don't do that tap at all? And give them back their refund?
My understanding about the tap is that you all don't run anything from the home to your line, and that's what's quoted.
I don't know where they come up with the car tap.
They promised these people that we would put new pipe down Green Street, and then quoted them a price and had them start making payments on it. I've talked to the homeowner
I
there,
don't know where the price is.
we're okay with the homeowner.
Do you know who told them this?
It had to be somebody that worked here prior to me and Karen working here. So this happened in February.
I'll tell you.
So they never should have been told, yeah, give us $6,000 and we'll run this pipe down this road. They should have been told, give us $1,400 and you can bring your pipe out here to our road where we already have the sewer main.
I think we were under the assumption back then that Green Street was ours, was the city's.
That's why they ran that
See,
pipe.
their
That's why they
meter,
put
the
it
water
down.
meter is halfway down Green Street now. This water meter is halfway down where this lady's property is. It's the city's water meter.
But we don't have to move the water meter. We can leave the water meter where it's at. We just cannot add
I
things.
don't know.
Okay, so the first thing is that they need to be notified that they need to provide some paperwork.
I told her that.
Are they gonna do that?
Yes, as soon, there is a process they have to go through to get the easement granted to them that is acceptable to FPL, which is what motivated them in the first place. And when they get to the end of that process, she's gonna provide me that easement so that we don't feel like we're contributing to her trenching across somebody else's property, so there's no liability for the city. However, he and she have paid above and beyond what their original quote should have been, and I want permission to give them back that money while we wait, the extra money, while we wait for the easement. We hold on to the money that they should have paid in the first place.
Yeah, if they overpaid, they need to.
Yes, yes,
And they were misquoted.
yes, they were. And so then when they do get the easement, we can be like, good, we're already paid up, let's get started on that for you.
I don't have
Have we
a problem
checked
with
at
it.
the courthouse for an easement?
Yes,
Does Canton have any problem with giving them their refund? It's their money. They were overcharged and they've overpaid. So refund their money.
and last but not least, this is the sign that DOT is willing to give to us. What do y'all think of this sign?
They're giving it to you? We love it.
So we have on both sides? I think. I think this one.
I think yes.
Yeah, it'll be on both sides.
And this one isn't as pretty, but this is the one they're offering us.
But it's a pretty big, it's bigger than the ones we saw. Remember? It's bigger than that one.
Yes.
Yeah, it is
This
bigger.
is quite large.
That's better, much bigger. But the one we had in that picture, they wasn't very big, remember?
No.
So we have something.
What's the will of council? You wanna go with these?
Yes, everybody likes the green sign? All right, I'll send do the rest of the paperwork they need me to do. There's some kind of permitting process or something.
Okay.
So we gotta sign 6 here.
corner, you've got sign checks on here, but I know we do that after the meeting.
Okay,
So, number 20, I need a motion to approve for the repair of 3 generators.
All of these that you,
Services
of everything you need here.
in the amount of $600 each.
If it's over, I'll let y'all know. But he said it should be 600.
Do I have a motion to approve? Second?
Second.
Discussion. All in favor? Aye. Motion carried. We have reached the end of our numbered agenda item. What?
We got-
oh, Jimmy's got a bonus round.
Yeah, I got one thing I need to add, and I don't know what to do on this. The road at City Square that holds the flag, drive on it and broke. I don't have nothing to reach that.
The what now?
The road that is holding the flag up at the City Square, it's drive on it and broke. It come down. Y'all know anybody that?
You mean to run a new line up there?
Yeah. I guess Chad went to raise the flag up today and he called me and I don't have nothing to reach that.
Got any plans with bucket truck?
That's why I was thinking of Chad.
Where's Trey?
I thought about fire trucks,
He's gone. What about Morris? Is it Morris have a pilot?
not even count.
Yeah, I guess.
No, they don't got no ladder truck. They don't need.
See if somebody.
Yeah.
Anybody know any tree
Trey, but
climbers?
he just left. Trey?
I didn't think about it until just a minute ago. and I was ready.
See, if he's not willing to do that, or if somebody's not willing to help us with it, then we'll have to call and get a price on renting one. I would assume. But it looks like maybe we could reach out to somebody and they would be willing to help us.
Do you know how high it is, Vernon?
I would imagine Trey would be glad to do it.
Even Dow,
Yeah, that's what.
you know, he would do it as a courtesy.
We can big check in the bucket on the machine.
You know, I don't care.
You know, Buddy will put it right up in there.
He's not right.
All right, what else have y'all got?
I drafted a letter to send DP.
Y'all already got this one. This is all the stuff
Basically,
that stuff that we're working on.
Yeah. The main issue that I got is plan.
I got one, I typed it, give her one, didn't make it into the packet.
The first 3 sheets come through. Front and back. The third one is the end of the letter will be sent to DP. And then the other one, when it starts with the in-house list, that's just for Jason. For y'all to know. I thought this had been done a while back. It's just a matter of record, basically.
Is this come from the list that you gave us?
Yes,
before?
this is all, yeah, this all
It's
is.
everything.
It'd be better if this was coming from us instead of you.
I have that one.
It is coming from you.
It is.
Okay.
government.
I just drafted it.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
I was just making sure.
yeah. Yeah, that way, at least they, you know, if they show up, they already know. You know, what's messed up, what we're working on.
So this, Rose needs to send this to them? Is that what you're saying?
Now, the in-house portion is just what
We're keeping it
Jason-
in-house.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Jason, then
This is just
There's
like-
another version of this that doesn't have those last few pages.
Yeah, this way, it just covers us, that way if they show up and they're like, well,
Okay.
I talked to Dale today. I thought he had already been done a while back. I don't think it ever got done. And, just trying to keep up. That's it. But I just drafted it up. I figured it'd be better coming from y'all.
And Jimmy, did you say Jason needs to sign one of these before I send it
Yeah.
yeah, I'll come in the morning.
Yeah,
in the
go.
morning? Okay. I'll be here.
That's it for me. Good.
All right. Now, motion to adjourn. Second.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor? Aye.